So we are inside today. I am going to be doing a little bit of a kind of container indoor project, but it's actually something that's going to extend out into the summer garden because I picked up a couple houseplants that I want to get going inside right now. And I am hoping that I'm actually going to be able to use these plants out in the garden just a little bit later on once we get past our last frost. So let me show you what we've got. I just picked them up at the garden center this morning. We've got this adorable little pitcher plant. It's so cute. I'll show you a closer look. And a Venus flytrap. Super fun, cute little versions of these guys. And my plan is to grow them indoors in a terrarium and then actually pot them out as bog plants in my container pond over the summer. I think they'll be perfect for the container pond, kind of whimsical and cute and fun. And they'll also be fun houseplants for right now. This is probably going to be the only houseplant season where I'm actually going to be hoping to have, fruit flies or something, because I'm going to have something for these guys to eat. But let me show you what we got. So here's the little pitcher plant. It's just so cute. It has tiny little pitchers. I'm not quite sure what variety it is, but it's adorable. And I liked that it wasn't just completely green. It's a little like off green. And then the Venus flytrap. Really sweet. These are always just such fun little plants. So I'm really hoping to be able to keep both of these going all the way through till summer. And what I'm going to put them in is this fun little terrarium. I need to kind of wipe it off really quick, and then I'll show you what I'm thinking. I'm also going to start a couple of seeds in here. So this is just the little terrarium, and we've got some seeds to start. So I've just got to dust this off. I've had it in the cupboard all season, and it's kind of a nice thing like with a terrarium like this. I usually put it away in the summer because I'm just so busy out in the garden, but it's the perfect little place to grow things in the winter. And if you're like me and you have, kids and toddlers and pets and things, it also kind of doubles as keeping everybody away from the plant. So I just store mine and then bring it out. I did a lot of seedlings in it last year, and in addition to starting the little carnivorous plants, I wanted to start a couple of actually kind of like house plants from seed. So in the terrarium, I'm gonna seed up a bunch of these little cactus. It's just a mix of cactus seeds. I started some of these last year and I didn't really stay on top of the seedlings, so the seedlings kind of faded, and I just got busy with other things, honestly, and didn't really keep them going, but they sprouted really well. I am going to plant all of them in these just little tiny terracotta pots. I think they're so cute. And my plan is to sow them pretty thickly. That was one thing I noticed. They came up and they made about like 1 centimeter circle little seedlings, and the seedlings stayed about that size for quite a while. They honestly stayed pretty small and grew pretty slowly. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna seed fairly heavily so we get a few seedlings going in each. I'm gonna do 3 of these little cups with the cactus, and yeah, just seed it pretty thickly so that I have a nice full little container of seedlings. And then I think what I'm gonna do for the Venus flytrap is actually just sink it into this pot. I may stick something in the bottom, like a little bit of soil or something in the bottom, to kind of bump it up, and then do the same with this. I have this really aged kind of cute little pot, and I think I'm just gonna put these in here. I don't want to actually repot them out of their pots because neither of them look like they're really very pot bound, so I don't want to disturb them. And I'm also going to be planting these out into the container pond. I'm going to put them into another big terracotta pot in the container pond, so I'm not going to need them to be like in these decorative pots. And then I thought for the terrarium, to kind of make it extra cute, we'll do I have this little bird that we'll put in it, and I grabbed some moss. So typically when you are doing a terrarium, you'll see people do the layers of like charcoal and then maybe gravel, soil, and actually like plant into the structure itself. But I like to use this terrarium container for such a multitude of different things. I sometimes like to have seedlings in it. I sometimes want to have plants in it. So I decided to just make life easy and just put pots in the container, and I'll kind of dress around it with some of the moss. This is a mix of mosses, so there's all kinds of things in here. There's like reindeer moss and some bark and stuff. So I can kind of dress around the containers and make them look, you know, full and decorative, but I don't actually have to plant into the actual terrarium itself. And I just think that's gonna help to kind of preserve the container and make my life easier. I can plant these plants out in the summer and it's not going to be like this big project of deconstructing this terrarium. So a super, super easy way if you want to do some kind of a terrarium and you don't want to mess with like planting into an actual structure, just put little pots. You know, even these teeny tiny little pots are super fun, and you can grow all kinds of things. So, okay, I do have a saucer. I grabbed one of these terracotta saucers, and this one has the glaze, so it's watertight. So especially for the Venus flytrap, but also for the pitcher plant, they need a lot of water. They're really like bog plants. So you want to make sure that they're kind of always have water. So I thought that way with the glazed tray, I could always kind of keep a little bit of water in it. And the other thing with the carnivorous plants is that you do have to be careful about fertilizers, pesticides. You can't water them with tap water. You do actually have to use distilled water when you are watering carnivorous plants. Tap water will actually hurt them. All the like chlorine and different things that is in tap water can cause a problem. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of soil on the bottom of each of these cups just to raise them up a little bit, and then we'll get them arranged in the container, and then I'll show you what I'm thinking for the moss. Okay, so everything is now planted, and I just arranged the pots in here. So I've got a couple of little ones, and now I thought I would just take some of this moss and, oops, it's spilling, and go around the kind of outside of the different pots. And we'll see how this looks. Ooh, there's a little bit of mulch in here too. Okay, maybe we'll mulch, let's see. I don't really want the mulch just yet. Okay, so we've got a few different kinds of mosses. Got this just like green, the reindeer moss, a purple reindeer moss, and a really dark green, looks like a dyed moss. So I'm just gonna pack these around the pots a little bit. I'll move you a little bit closer. But I think it'll just kind of add a softness to this whole arrangement. So here we've got the pots, and I think I'm gonna put some of the moss just even right in behind the containers to kind of add, I might need to move this out. Just add a little bit of like fullness and greenery and make it still look like a terrarium, even though we've got all the containers in it. I still wanna have that terrarium feel. This is gonna be the perfect bed for my little bird who can sit in here. Got to have a little bit of like a little living friend. And then we'll pop in an accent of reindeer moss over here. I always love reindeer moss. It's just such a pretty moss. It's always this like bright, fresh green color. Just really pops in something like this. I think a little bit over here is perfect. And then a little bit right in here. And then I'm gonna put this down for a second and just stick a little bit of the purple right in front of the bird and kind of arrange that. Here we go, and we can just close the lid. I will have to come in and water this seedlings, but how fun. See if I can give you a better look without all of the glare, but how cute. So many fun things going on in here, and hopefully I can keep it wet enough in this container for, let me open it so you can see, for our little carnivorous plants. But I am gonna go ahead and mist the seedlings for the cactus. Oh my gosh, I love it. here it is on the coffee table. I think it's gonna be so cute, and even these nosy cats are not gonna be able to get in and bug any of the plants. So that is perfect. Sorry, buddy. You can't have them. But we can still have some houseplants out here, so it's perfect. It's just a little bit of green, and it's always fun to have things like this kind of, you know, in the house to brighten up a space. It just always brings a certain element. Now there's one other thing I'm gonna try to start today, and another kind of house plant. I have tried this last year. It did not work, so full disclosure, we'll see how this goes. Let me just put the terrarium where it needs to go. And oh wait, I better water in the cactus before I forget. So while I'm over here making a mess, I am also gonna try to start some pink banana seeds. So I tried to do this last year. You're actually supposed to soak them for 36 hours in super hot water, do all these things. I haven't done any of that this time around. I tried last time. It honestly didn't work, but I'm just gonna give it a go. And I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm putting all the seeds in here. We'll see what happens. I am also going to top it with some of this polka dot splash white. It's a white polka dot plant. This is super easy to start from seed. This is like one, if you're looking for a house plant to start from seed, I highly recommend polka dot plants, just like the polka dot plants you always see in the garden centers. It grows super readily, super fast. So I'm gonna sprinkle a few of those seeds over top just to kind of make sure that we actually get something planted. I think that's gonna work out really well. All right, all planted. As I said, I'm not sure how those bananas are going to do, but I know the polka dot plant is going to come up and be really beautiful. Pinetree seed is where I got those polka dot plant seeds, and you can actually get, I think, the pink variety too. I picked up actually a pink little polka dot plant when I was at the garden center today too, for another little area of my house, because they're just such cute little plants and such a good, easy house plant. But yeah, that's just probably the last of my major houseplant endeavors for 2023. I kind of stocked up on a few ferns and things, but we're getting really, you know, into February here, so now it's going to be all about starting tomatoes and the summer garden, and I don't do a whole lot with houseplants at that point. And I'll probably move the cactus out into the garden and move all of those, as I said, the carnivorous plants as bog plants for the container pond. But we'll enjoy them. They are pretty full sun plants, so I may have to bring them either in here to have some days in the sunlight, or even put them under a grow light every now and then. I'm just gonna have to keep an eye and make sure they're doing okay until we get, into the real growing season. For hanging out with me inside on a very wintry day. It does not feel like spring today, but we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.